Hello, everybody. It is 5 o'clock Central Time on Thursday, which means I'm continuing my series of bringing on the ladies who I've been working with in the Leadership Lab Alumni Circle. What is that? Well, it's kind of a next level of business women who have decided that they are ready to scale up and niche down and figure out where their leadership will take front and center for their businesses, and if there's areas that they kind of need guidance with. And more importantly, it is a community of creative women, and I've asked them to each join me on a live stream. So we are streaming on Facebook and my YouTube channel, and today's guests are Pam Densler and Jen Dunn, and they will be joining me. As you can see, Pam is already on here. So I'm going to ask you all, most of you are going to catch this on the replay, and I want to throw out a heart right down there, just like take your little finger and just go, boom, that's a heart there, because we want our leadership ladies to feel just seen and heard and supported. And so we, again, hello, everybody. Wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for popping on. One of the greatest gifts that you can give any creative person that's trying to run online and, posting here and posting there, it doesn't cost anything, but it's really a generous thing just to say, hey, you don't even have to share it. You could comment. You could just say, I'm just here to say hello. Pam Densler is with me today. Pam and I started working together 2 years ago, Pam?
Probably.
Has it been that? I don't know if it's been even that long yet, but I do know that Pam signed up for my leadership group called Empowered by Design. And in full honesty, I didn't know if I had anything that would be helpful to Pam. Pam, and you'll find out here in a moment, she is not a working business owner that is working on just art or furniture or something. She is doing something even more incredible than that. And I know that today is like this huge day that I'm going to make her tell you guys in just a second. But I started questioning whether I had enough to add for Pam. I started questioning, am I smart enough? Do I have enough, knowledge in caregiving? And I wasn't quite sure. But what happened really quickly was Pam showed trust and started sharing pieces of her heart with me. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn just as much as she is. And that's exactly what's happened. I have learned so much from Pam Densler, and I'm so thrilled that you are taking this afternoon to come on live with me and letting these beautiful, glorious people say hello to you, Pam. So tell everybody, where are you? And what exactly do you do that intimidated me so much?
Well, I'm Pam Densler, and I live in Westlake, Ohio, and it's a very snowy day here today. And so, but I am an occupational therapist. And what is an occupational therapist? No, I don't teach people a job. And even though it says occupation, but our goal as an occupational therapist is to use functional daily tasks to improve skill level. That really pretty much is in a nutshell. And art is a big piece of that. We had to take lots of classes and all sorts of things, and I've always dabbled with, crafts,
Yeah.
but art. Now I call it art,
It is.
so
It is.
it's just become a part. And yeah. So that's who I am.
Pam is also one of the 13 ladies who is featured inside our documentary. We've published part 1 on YouTube called The Art of Becoming. And we're working on part 2. And so we're finding out why each of these ladies creates. And I absolutely, Pam, I'm just going to tell you, I absolutely love when you answer the questions. I love when you get on camera and you start talking about the individuals you work with or what art means to them, or you start talking about this transformation that happens within the individuals that you work with in occupational therapy. And it's such refreshing. It's very refreshing. And like I said in the beginning, I always learn something so significant from you. But your passion is very contagious. Have you always been that way? Have you learned over the years this kind of energy about yourself?
You know, I probably haven't had it all the time. I do remember my mom always saying I was a goofy kid and just did what I wanted and stuff, and probably get wanting so much attention, you know. But then things in life happened, we moved and stuff, and I got really quiet. And so I don't know, but it's over the time. And really, you guys, the people that have taught me this, how
Hmm.
important this is the people that I work with.
Hmm.
And especially the adults with developmental disabilities that I have, that I've been with for over 20 years for some of them. They've watched my kids grow, and stuff. And they look at life like we should and just enjoy. It's not always that way, but they just push you to, it's whatever it is. It's okay. Just do it,
Yeah, you
you
really have to be present, right? Like that's something that all of us work with. And actually, last night in Leadership Lab, we talked about presence. We talked about the value of it. We talked about the greatest gift you
know?
could give somebody is just being really, really present. And we all struggle with that right now. But your job has forced you to really do that, right?
Yeah. And just be in the moment and not let all that chatter, that craziness in your brain, just do it. Yeah.
Hmm. And when did you first realize, Pam, that you love to create so much that it kind of calmed your own chaos?
Huh. Actually, probably when I was in college.
Yeah.
And again, I got this wonderful opportunity to work with these older ladies. They lived in a shared community in a house of somebody,
Okay.
and it was like, and I would come once a week to do art with them. And just they reminded me of my grandmother. It's like, it's
Hmm.
okay. And they would just have a blast. And I did too, and here I was even getting paid for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
I had not forgotten, but that was a fun memory that popped up.
I love hearing that because I think if I at college age, Dion, would have been incredibly intimidated to do what you just said you did. Like to work with if the elder, like I don't know if I would have felt like I could do it or I was capable. So where does that confidence come from that you were right where you needed to be and that you would be helpful?
Well, probably growing up with Paula, my twin sister who had cerebral palsy, and just being around folks with different abilities all the time. And even when I started working at school, they'd be like, Pam, they would all be nervous. I'm like, you guys, this is just normal. To me, it was just normal. This is just what we do, and if you mess up, you move on. Just like we always talk about, you can always paint over it. I don't know if I always remember that then. It's quite something I remember now. But yeah. And and they all weren't, some of them were more confused than others and some, but we
Sure.
all found a common ground. And it was that creativity that
Hmm.
everybody just participated. Yeah.
Hmm. Connects everybody, no matter what you are, where you are, who
Yeah.
you're with. It's like a universal
Right.
language, is it not? Like you put
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff down, paint, whatever it is, people are going to play with it. They're going to explore. You can take a brush and
Even
you
if
give
you're
them paint.
coloring with crayons, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. Yeah.
it's absolutely true. Um, Pam, let me ask you something. When people leave you, like from spending time with you, when they leave, how do you want them to feel? What is the feeling you want them to take away after they've spent time with you?
You know, I guess I want them to feel empowered,
Hmm.
that they're capable. Really, that's the
Mhm.
biggest thing, that we're all capable. Actually, I have a shirt on that says, "Broken crayons still color." None of us are broken. We're all capable, and we're all, no matter what little piece that we do in that activity, art piece, or whatever, it's a piece of us. And we're
I
all
love.
a part of it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said your shirt says "Broken Crown Still Color."
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Uh, Karen says she has a mug from Marlis that says that too. Oh no, from Monsi. I think I've heard that before, but I love it so much, especially it's kind of relating to the art series that I just finished up. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to write that down and make sure I get something that has that on it so I remember it all the time. Okay, so part of the challenge with this, the leadership lab, and you guys, several of you went and said, I want to do the alumni circle. Where do you feel like you are in right now, present day, in your leadership? Like what season? Is it like a building, refining, releasing? What type of season are you in?
If I could pick one word, it's growing. Because, and this is through the leadership lab, and the first one, and now doing the alumni.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take a step back. I just want to keep moving forward. And so that's growing, but it's just, can I share with you you remember we pick about words of the year. And I went
Yeah.
back and looked the last 4 years.
Tell me.
And the first one was innovative. And that's just something. I am innovative. I know that. But then that was 23. 24, it was joyful. And then last year was perseverance.
Okay.
And now this year is emergence. And I just, when you asked, how does it go? It's like, it just keeps evolving and moving forward. And they all are connected together, that I still am working on all those. But yeah, I just did that earlier and thought, wow,
It is really good to look at that. So in this season right now with your leadership, what's this big, huge project you've been working on for the last few months? Can you tell us about it?
Writing a book. And I just completed the book. Actually, I can show you the cover.
Yes,
This is
please.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're
This is
seeing it
just
right now.
copy. It's called The Weight of Second. And it's a story about me. It's my stories having a twin that had special needs. And I think we all struggle with finding our own identity. And I really struggled with that. And so you do things because people tell you should do them and stuff. And, at my age, at 66 years old, it's like, Pam, just do what you want. You mean not, it's okay. Do what you'd like to do. But I still didn't know what that was, really. And so I figured, let's put it all down on paper.
So let me just tell you, and you've heard me say this before, but not everybody has. One of the things I admire you so much is that you said you're 66 and you're giving yourself permission to share your stories. And the weight of second, is that what you called it? The title is The Weight of Second?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm interpreting that to say that you felt like you were always second.
Yeah. I did. And I can say that now and I say that because there's other people that feel that way too. And I just want to tell them that I see them and I hear them and I feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
People might have told me, oh, way. And then you'd shut yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's okay. It's who you are. And it's my feelings and expressions. And So, yeah.
You're right, Patty Levine. Thank you for sharing that. Um, let me ask you another question. Where do you feel most called to lead this year? Lead people, lead spaces, lead conversations, or experiences?
Can I say a little bit of all of those?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Because I've had so many thoughts, and now that I've done this one book and with folks that I've engaged with, and we had started another one, I'm like, "Oh, we need to finish that book." So that's supporting the other people. But
Uh-huh.
then I also want to do more art. And I just want to, I just guess I just want to keep dabbling in a lot of different things. And just, you know, I met a lady today at the post office, and she was coming in, and it's snowing, it's bad weather. And
Okay.
I'm like, you shouldn't be out. I'm 95. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so she was giving me life lessons as we were chatting outside the door. I'm like, okay, And so that's why I just want to keep growing and meeting people and learning from everybody, because that what keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
same. I love that. I love that she was 95 and gave you a life lesson, and she's not going to stay in just
I
because
know.
it's snowy. And I mean, I saw how
I
much snow
know.
Ohio got. So I understand, but I mean, if I were her child, I would probably be like, "Mom." But
Right.
regardless, if I were
Right.
just seeing her, greeting her through the doorway, thank you for sharing that too. Um,
Yeah.
so I want to know one thing that you love about the woman you have become, not the work you do, but who you are. What's one thing you love about who you've become, Pam?
That she has purpose now. I've always had purpose, but it's just so, I don't know. I am happy and content, and just driven is another word probably I would use, because there's so much more that I want to do. And now, it's like, and almost sometimes you want to say to people, don't get in my way, because I'm going to do this, you know?
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, more art and stuff, and create, and don't let the negative get to you. And just
Mhm.
right now, I feel like I'm somehow living like in a little bit in the messy middle, but I'm liking the messy middle because it's showing me all these different things
Yeah,
that I can do, that I'm capable of. And yeah,
that's pretty powerful. It's showing you the messy middle, guys. She just said the messy middle is showing her all kinds of things that she's capable of. So, you are coming back as a third timer to Courage on Canvas retreat, where you sit around and every once in a while we paint on canvas. And how do you, or let's talk about your growth from the first time you came to the second year and where you will be showing up in September for the third year.
well, the first one, I was scared to death. That, I got there, I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm not an artist. And, it's like, and I froze. I was in freeze a lot. What I call, when you just get stuck. I'm no good. I'm not good enough. And those are old habits that always, but it evolved, and I left there with such wonderful memories and new friends and
Yeah.
a new sense of being. And then I come back again, and it's like I could see in my art another layer evolving. It was like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh. So I can't wait till this year. Who knows? Who knows? And I'll just take whatever comes and appreciate it and enjoy it. And the
The
people.
the people, the relationships, it's
Yeah,
right.
right. I have such a new vast group of friends that I wouldn't trade for anything, so.
So you came to the first one and you joined EBD, and we were, and then you connected with several of the ladies who have become your weekly best buddies, who you guys still
Yeah.
meet with, and several of them are on here right now.
Yeah.
And when you came to Courage on Campus the second time, you met Marlene for the first time and then stayed with her for a week.
Right.
That is so significant. You found your girlfriends. What a powerful thing.
Yep. And we all, I have new sisters. Yeah.
It's because you're open to it, Pam, and it's because you're so generous and kind and thoughtful. It's easy to love you. You know what I mean? Do you know that, Pam?
Thank you. No, not everybody would say that, but you guys bring out the best in me. And you accept, I don't know if you bring out the best in me, but you accept me for who I am.
Sure.
You accept me, so what you get, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Marlene agrees with me right now. It is easy to love you. So I do have another guest going to be coming on. She's in the waiting room now. But Pam, before we go, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for trusting me with this leadership journey that you have been on and that you're going to continue to be on, getting a front row seat at you expanding and emerging and writing a book. My goodness, we're going to be able to purchase this book on Amazon very soon, right? Right?
Yep. A couple days.
So, couple of days. Are you kidding me? Everybody write this down right now. And also you guys want to just throw a share out there, throw a heart down there, anything that you want to say to Pam, that would be tremendous. Thank you everybody for loving on her. We're going to bring on our next guest, Pam. Thank you. Well done. And I am so proud of you. Okay. Tell everybody where they can go follow you. Tell everybody where they can follow you online and where they can listen to you. And don't forget your podcast.
Well, you can go it on the web at pamsdenacreativefun.com. The Facebook page is the same thing, Pam's Den of Creative Fun. And you can find all the info on the website. It's all there. So that'd be great.
Awesome, sister. All right. Well, let's bring on our next guest. So thank you so much, Pam. And I am going to pop on our next guest, which is Jen Dunn. You may know her as Rustic Rehabs. This girl is so fun to talk to. I love her energy. I also love sharing at the Mexican restaurant across the table. And anytime I say something about like Jen, Matt looks at me like he's always trying to remember like, who are all these people? So I have to refer to like, and I have to tell a story. And so my story for you is, the tall, pretty woman that sat across from us at the Mexican restaurant that kept us in stitches, making us laugh. And he's like, oh, yes, I know her. That's you. How are you, Jen?
I'm good. I was actually just doing a Pam trick when I got a little nervous. I started writing figure eights all over my doodles. So that's
so smart.
Good example.
Yeah, look at that, Pam. She was talking to us about how if you're feeling anxious to start taking your right brain and your left brain and letting them cross over. But since you were doing your figure eights, it sounds like you're doing just fine. You were able to crisscross.
Well, plus, like Pam said, you make it pretty easy. You're a very warm, accepting kind of environment, and you don't accept anything less than that. Right?
Absolutely. That's why I know to trust the ladies that are on here right now. There's gentlemen, ladies. I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best communities, and I know you're safe here. I know there's going to be kindness, and of course, if there's not, we just boot them out and say, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya." But that's not going to happen here. So, I am just looking at some. Here we go. Lots of hellos. Hello, Jen.
Hello.
So, Rustic Rehabs is her online business. Tell everybody a little bit kind of what you do, Jen, and where are you?
I started, I was in IT for 25 years as the breadwinner for my family. and got burnt out in like 2018. I found chalk paint and I started painting furniture in the garage. I had always painted, but I used just like whatever we had laying around. And my husband would say, "You need to sand that." And I would say, "That's so lame and dirty. Who has time?"
No.
So while I was toiling and like climbing the career ladder at one of the big banks in IT, chalk paint was invented. And so I started doing that. And then I ended up getting downsized during COVID, totally blindsided. Thought for sure it was going to be a layer ahead above me than me.
Yeah.
But said to my husband, like, I can't go back to a cubicle. And realized that actually while I was painting in the garage, realized I had always had this, I have a 28-year-old, a 23-year-old, and then an 18-year-old. And when my 28-year-old was born, I was journaling pretty consistently. And I'm like, I need to do something with women. I don't know what it is. I had some ideas. It turned out they kind of flopped. And then I had been painting in the garage at the same time. And then I started custom painting for people and doing live videos and getting some coaching. And then I went, it's that. I'm supposed to teach people that they can be creative and you don't have to be someone with an art degree. These tools make it easy. And you can just, and so my motto is, I have a couple. One is I probably can't make it worse because I don't get pieces of furniture that are already in really good shape. I haven't dumpster dived like my girl Karen, but I do get things that are discarded. And then the other one is just paint it. Just paint it. And if you don't like it, paint it again.
Paint it again. Yeah. I love it. Those are so good. Those are so good. So let's rewind just 1 second though, because what you did a few minutes ago was you said you just started going live.
I did.
Why and what and how was that for you? Because most people, given the option, are going to say pass.
Well, you know what's so funny too? I'll be right up honest with you. I have anxiety and panic attacks, and I have been performing for a lot of my life, trying to be what everybody wants you to be, good little girl, so that nobody has any reason to get mad at you, so you don't have to have that stomach ache, right?
Yes.
Well, so I had a different business coach with a different paint line when I first started. I didn't know Debbie and I didn't know you. And this person was growing by going live. And those lives really inspired me. And so she's like, okay. And then when I decided that I was helping people and this was going to be my next chapter, right? Like my retirement job, if you will, that I wanted to start in my early 50s. I was like, okay, well, then what do I got to do to grow? Right. And so I would go live in my garage all year long. The first time I went live. Yeah.
I love that stuff. I love it.
The first time I went live was during a freaking Packer game. And I put a Prima transfer on a dresser and I'd never done it before. It looked like an idiot. But what I tell myself is you're so small, hardly anybody's seeing it. And B, mostly the haters are too chicken to even try what you're doing.
It's true.
It is true. And that's why.
So true.
That's why I'm growing, continuing to grow, getting some haters, laughing at them, sometimes calling them out on their crap. But realizing that's not about me. It's much more about them. But you do need to grow some thick skin. Because people can be ridiculous.
You do, and honestly, those of you on YouTube right now, it's a little bit more tough audience over there on YouTube. I remember when I first started going live, Jen, I would beg people, please be nice. If you're going to be on here, please be nice. Like
you're just priming them up. You're showing them your underbelly. Like, here, show me. Take a good shot. I did do that on a recent video when I had a couple of reels that did well. The next one, I didn't do it nice like that, Dion. I did it like, hey, please be, hey, be kind or go somewhere else, right? One, I even said, go get therapy, but then I cut that out.
Well, I will say that there were a couple of times where I was a little more firm than Dion traditionally would have been. So much that people text me afterwards saying, "You okay?
Did Matt have your computer? Did Matt have your keyboard?"
He did, and he wouldn't tell me what was being said. But I was like, "Why? What are all these comments? What happened? What did I miss?" But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What is one thing, Jen, that people tend to underestimate about you?
Ooh. Oh, that you do. You clever minx. You mix things up, and I didn't see
I
that.
just have a feeling there's some things that people tend to underestimate about you, dear.
Well, people who've known me and known that I've had anxiety, they underestimate me, that I'm not going to do stuff. But a lot of people haven't known that, right?
Mhm.
I think people are surprised by my tenacity and my resourcefulness. Like I found out that I was resourceful when I worked in a bureaucratic big company, and I would say that that was one of my skills. But it still works today, right? And I decided when I was in that company that I mindset shifted from I hate this place to turned on I am woman, hear me roar every day on the way to work on my 10-minute commute, so that I would decide, yeah, that I should do that again some days, that whatever I learned in that particular spot was going to serve me in the future. So
Love that.
those people definitely underestimated me. The people who worked with me in the corporate world, who
Mhm.
are like, what? She's run her own business? The people who I went to high school with never thought when I went to somebody's wedding, they were like, you work in IT, right? And so I think you kind of shed your skin and molt over the years and turn and grow if you let yourself,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
so but some people don't, some people are okay to stay, but I'm not okay to stay small and where I am. We only get one shot.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing so much of your heart right there. Because you covered a lot of years and you covered a lot of same feelings. A lot of people through what you were just saying are like, same, same, same. I know that's what they're thinking right now. You guys throw up a heart or throw up a hand up if you felt the exact way that Jen just felt in the past. What's something, Jen, that you used to say yes to that you're learning to protect yourself from now?
People pleasing, big time.
Ooh, people
Yeah,
pleasing.
that
That's a
was
big
part.
like. Yes.
This is my lead girl here, Laura.
We're not chasing squirrels. Jen has an amazing memory for
Erin
important
chasing
things.
squirrels.
She knows her customers and respects them with her support.
I
Laura, thank
do.
you for sharing that. That gives
Thank
us
you,
a
Laura.
behind the scenes of our girl on here now.
Yeah. Now I forgot your question.
What's something you used to say yes to?
Oh, I answered it.
That
Definitely people pleasing. Yeah.
yeah.
That was in my bones, Dion. There's a time when I was driving once, a couple of times when I was driving, once when I was in college, and then once when I was in my 30s, that I was in front of people and they couldn't, I don't know, you do stupid stuff while you're driving because you're not paying attention or whatever. And somebody was trying to get around me and I had long hair at the time. And I was doing this and the guy went, when he passed me. And that was enough to upset me because somebody was upset with me, right? But I
Oh,
was young and sensitive and wanted everybody to like me. And then as I got older, I didn't care as much about if everybody. But then when something happened, it was somebody in my community, and I'm like, oh, that's one of my people. He has to like me.
yeah.
Now, I don't know. It doesn't completely go away, but it sure gets better when you start to be like, you know what, I'm okay. I used to look externally to have people tell me that I was okay. If you didn't tell me that I looked nice or that I did something nice, then I didn't feel like it did. And that's an exhausting
Right.
way to live.
How relatable, everybody in the comments, how relatable is that for your past as well? Drop a comment in there for Jen so she feels.
One of the
I
best
know.
parts about growing older is that if you do embrace
I
that,
hear
then you're
that,
like,
yes. I mean,
you're like, I know I'm all that. So
every year it's kind of like, what's the big thing? You just don't care as much. And it's not that you don't care about people, you just love yourself more and you love who you are, right? And so it's
yeah.
unapologetically loving yourself, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I feel like you get more grounded, right? And you get
Sure.
wisdom, right? You've been,
Sure.
kind of taken advantage of here and there, and you've learned through that pain, or you get stuck in it and keep repeating the same patterns.
So that kind of brings me to the next question, which you may have just kind of answered it, but what truth about leadership have you had to learn the hard way?
I think the hard way that I'm still having to learn is that I have to be accountable to me, right? Like, we just said this in the last few weeks, and everybody's like, we'll be accountable to each other. I'm like, you're not going to be there with me holding my hand and saying, did you get your book work done? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you figure out your reporting, right? All of that stuff that I have to do in order to scale better. And so that's where having a team and helping or delegating some of that, you know, like Laura and I were looking yesterday, and $50,000 was missing, not missing, but missing in one of our reports. And we're like, well, where's that chunk? Where did we, right? And so that's just really hard for me. I just want to go, forget it. Somebody go figure this out. I just going to go paint, right?
I think definitely we all are going to react that way initially, like, I'm not the best person for this. Somebody else do this. And there's something also, though, about when you do it and you learn, because here's what I know, Jen, you're going to persevere through that. You're going to figure it out. You're going to learn, and you maybe put a little system in place, and even if it takes us a few times, I know you're going to learn because that's you. And you talking about the IT, Jen, before this, and I know the story about how it all happened is because you're like brilliant. That's the truth. You're like brilliant.
I think I'm impatient and stubborn. And I think
that works too.
I think I know where I got that. And resourceful and tenacious, but those all kind of work together, right? But not in everything. Like sometimes you have to learn I will chase squirrels. I will. So much more fun to chase a squirrel of thrifting some thrift store marriages than figuring out categorize crap wrong for 2 years. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Tell me what success looks like to you, or more so, how has it changed over the years now that you've gotten where you are now? How has success or your idea of it changed, Jen?
Oh, that one hits. That one kind of, because I want to say, I don't know yet. But then there's part of me that says, I do know, but I'm not where I want to be. Right. So I say this thing, like people walk into a shop, like I have a little shop. I don't think I said I'm in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, which is a suburb of Milwaukee. So I too have crappy weather right now. And when they'll walk in and they'll look around and they'll be like, ooh, and then here, can you donate to my kid's school, to my whatever? And they've never come in before, right? And I'm thinking, people think you have a lot more money than you do sometimes when you're starting out in a store like this. And so I always say they don't really know how you're doing unless you do your bookkeeping. Yeah. So it kind of comes back to that same thing for me. But yet on some level, I am successful. I've built a community. My repeat customer rate is 50-some%. That's not normal in a small business like this.
That's incredible.
It really is. Yet I need more of it. Right. So, it's hard for me to say it's a success until I can go, all right, I'm taking my family and we're going to go visit my stepdaughter in LA, and we have the money in the bank, and I'm not going to think about it. And I'm not there yet. So some days I feel like I might never get there and I'm afraid. However, and then I kind of kick that to the curb.
Right.
And just keep going.
I actually think it was Carrie Johnston. I can't remember, but I feel like
she was on here.
She was. I don't know if she's still on here, but I think I was interviewing her for a podcast, and I'm telling the story because she was on here a second ago. We were talking about that, and I said, to be honest with you, I felt like I had got success was coming when I could buy the Charmin Ultra toilet paper.
You're such a goofball.
Better yet, when I ordered new sheets, and I was able to buy the cotton of so many thread count, that made me feel
Oprah's favorite sheets thing.
Oh no, we're not there. We're not there yet. But like, The third thing was when I actually bought my own mattresses, like the first time, which was like 5 years ago. Otherwise, I had hand-me-down mattresses for ourselves and for our boys. And one year for Christmas, we bought all the beds new mattresses, not the top of the line, but I remember thinking, this
I've
is
arrived.
absolutely amazing.
And you have something like it's concrete to show for it, right? Versus, you know, I paid off that MasterCard and then you're like, okay, what the hell was on there anyway? Right. But so to take something that's a good, and that's why I'm kind of kicking around the idea of we should take a trip out to visit my kid. But yeah.
Because you could get lots of content then. Think
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
true.
You could
That's
get
true.
lots of content. You could do all kinds of different things there. Of course, I'm going to encourage you to do that.
Tempted to drive south, of course, then too.
What are you no longer willing to rush? We talked about this yesterday. We talked about it a little bit with Pam about presents. So what are you kind of leaving in 2025, but also coming into 2026 and saying, I no longer want to rush this particular thing, or what?
Well, I don't know. That's a hard one for me. And anybody who does know me, I mean, I've been told what Energizer pills do you take and stuff like that. And the reality is like I crash big time, right? So I rush around. I rush around too much. I need to get more focused. You and I have talked about that in our one-on-ones, right?
Yeah.
So, but I kind of more feel like I don't want to rush life. We talked about this, how it feels like it's going faster and faster. And now my youngest is going to go to school next year. And my husband and I are going to look around and be like, what just happened? Right?
Mm-hmm. Time with your kids. Like, you don't want to rush the time with your kids. The few moments, like through the holidays, you had them all there, right?
I did. For a couple of hours, I had them all there. And then one had to leave because he had to get up for work early in the morning. But then the others, we had a really, really fun time. And we'll remember that. And yeah, but it's hard. That's hard to create that, especially when they don't live by you.
Mm-hmm. Right? I can imagine. Yeah, absolutely. And so just thinking about the best moments of 2025, what were you doing? Who were you with? And then seeing if there's a way to recreate that more in 2026, right?
Just I did that.
Yeah.
I did that exercise. I have it in my little book. It was not easy. 2025, I lost my dad and it was a hard year. Like I said, good freaking riddance. And then 2026 has started off rough too. So I'm already ready to kick that one to the curb. But I'm not. I'll keep going.
I know.
But you know what? It was things like spending time with my kids. When we had our anniversary here, and so many people came out because we turned 4 this year.
Yes.
And so many people turned on. I must have written in the other thing. So there was stuff like that. And my team is unbelievably supportive. They see me on my best days and my worst days. And
amazing.
If you don't have people like that, this is overwhelming on a daily basis. But if you are trying to juggle the financials and all of the everything, and family stuff, you have to have somebody to talk to.
So since you mentioned your family or your group and the people there, what has it meant for you to have your team there with you, days taking over the store when you can't be there? What has it meant to you to lead a team of creative women like you do?
Yeah, it's interesting because we're constantly learning, right, about what works. And then there's some pressure there, right? I've gotten okay at letting go of running the store and a lot of the different things. And our word of the year is systematize. And so we're trying to figure out how to, like the gal who is working today, the last few times we do a lot of thrifting and they're pricing it. And I've been running around doing so much stuff. I don't even know if I like what she's pricing it because it's thrifted stuff. Yeah. But I'm telling myself that it's worth it because I've spent a lot of time having to put down little pieces of tape and think about stuff so that they could then take pictures and put it on our website. So, Somebody said, I think it was Abby who said last night, I don't know how people can be without having a bunch of women around them. And so one of the things that's hard about raising kids, working full time and stuff, is you can lose track with friends too. You can turn around and be like, well, where'd everybody go? I was friends with these people because my kids were their friends, and now our kids are grown up and we don't have that in common. So what happened, right? So there's some of that. And then you work with people who become your good friends. And then when you open your own business, it's really nice if those people can be your friends and you can rely on them and you can say, this happened today, right? And they can be like, hey, go sit in the back for a while. I got
Yeah. And I think also, I've heard you say this before, that this group of women who you feel like, of course, is a godsend to you, but like, they understand your passion because they watch you work. They see the good, the bad, the ugly, they know why you're doing what you're doing. And I think that when someone, especially women, they witness that and they feel that from you, they want to help. We instinctively want to help each other. Like, we just want to be like, how can I let this load be a little bit lighter for her? Is there something I can do?
That is the stuff they say, my friend. Yeah. And everybody doesn't get it though, because there was somebody who we added last year and I had to let her go because she didn't get it. To her, it was just a job. And to us, it's a mission, right?
Yep.
It's a mission. And
yep.
You never know what you're going to do, but we feel driven as part of, and I don't even have a mission statement, which is what you're supposed to have. But I think that they know that it's save a lot of stuff, keep Jen employed, and love on our customers, right?
Right. I mean, when you understand the value of creativity and you understand the value of what creativity does for someone's mental health, their day-to-day experiencing, when you really get that, it's never just a job.
No. And it's it's funny. So I'm a huge Brene Brown fan. And
Same.
she has a lot of great books, but her Gifts of Imperfection was one of the first. And it really hit me at a time when I needed it. And she's like, what do you mean you're doing ART? I have a JOB. And I was like, preach it, girl. And then next thing I know, I've read that book. I thought I did all the steps, and years ago I'm by and I'm like, I hate my job and I'm painting the furniture. And so now what I bring to the table with my painting style is very imperfect. It's similar to like what Jamie Ray, where she's just calls herself a paint slapper, right? We're not worried about making it perfect and stuff. And, but I have classes that I teach, and now I've taught my team so they can teach to these women so that I can do the things to keep us rising above with marketing and social media. And
so you mentioned several things that, are tough, like really, constraining or conflicting and all of these things. But let's talk about the fact that you've grown your Instagram thousands of people every month. Like, it is just
Facebook, but I would like Instagram to be the way.
Okay, Facebook, but your reels and since we've even been doing what we've been doing, your account has grown by thousands. Tell us, why do you think that is, Jen? What is it?
A lot of trial and error, and a lot of curiosity, right? Like I think it's fun. So I put one out today that I've had a hard week. Oh, thank you. I hope she's talking about me.
I'm sure it's you. Yes.
It's you or me. I don't know her. She probably already knows you. I've been using ChatGPT to so I one of my squirrel things is I can get very watered down and have like 25 podcasts that I have. And I'll be like, okay, I need to listen to this one. I need to listen to it. Yeah. And what I probably need is like a freaking romance book. So I might join the book club down the street so that I can get out of my own head with this stuff sometimes. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was listening to a podcast and, oh my God, such a squirrel. I forgot what I was doing. What was the question? Dion.
Oh, what was the question? Hold on.
Good. Hang on. Backtrack.
Oh, I was asking you about your Instagram. I was like,
Oh,
why
how
do
did I
you
grow it?
feel like
I
it's
had been watching
growing?
Think Media, and they're like, get this, get one of these AI tools so that you can test because I was doing YouTube and Facebook and not much Instagram. And my YouTube's not growing the way I wanted it either. I have friends who, when we met in Jacksonville for the
Yep.
first time, I have pictures of you and I together. I have friends who went the YouTube route, and I kind of wish I would have now, but I went the Facebook route because it was what I was familiar with, right?
Sure.
Well, anyway, I tried to do both at the same time. And so Think Media is like, hey, get this AI thing. And Gary Vanderchuck, if you're not using AI, you're behind the 8 ball big time. So I tried to use some AI tools and it kind of helped. But then I just started using ChatGPT for all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say to him, hey, I need to make a flyer for in the shop to say that furniture's on sale. And then he'd be like, move it to the middle, make this broader, and do, get rid of that word. And then he'd make me some copy. And so sometimes I do that. And then I'll try things. And sometimes I put it back in. You and I've talked about this, put it back in here, what's happening. Hey, this one's taking off. Hey, this one's going really slow. And then he'll say, you posted at a bad time. You should have held on to that one for 7:30 in the morning when your people are around, right? And then he'll be like, plus you tried to get a little cutesy here, and they like your authentic whatever, right? So it's using AI to help figure out the recipe for your personality, your whole concoction is going to be the thing. I don't have it all figured out, but I did it a couple of times, and a couple of times can bring you a lot of followers.
So you mentioned ChatGPT, and I know Chat can help you with the wording and ideas and everything, but you are the one on the screen. You are the one pushing the button and doing the video, and you are the secret sauce. Would you agree that you actually are the
Everybody
secret
is their own secret sauce. That's one of the things I learned early on is that, don't compete, be your own competition. Right?
And you've had several videos in the last month go absolutely viral.
Yeah. I always thought viral meant 1 million followers. And then I said that to ChatGPT. He and I are very close. And he said, that's old school YouTube kind of stuff. Now, if you get a couple 100,000 on Facebook, that's considered viral. And so, watch people who you admire. Don't copy them, but watch them. Be present with what they're doing, and then be like, she just posted one that was 19 seconds long, and there wasn't even anything that exciting in it, but people are doing this and saying this, right? It's just, Chat GPT. If you Google it or put it in your Google or Apple App Store, it'll change your life. So, and then you take stuff and you try it, and then you analyze it. And that's my hardest part. And so I'm actually doing that I'm using that tool for my bookkeeping to help me pull apart things that are terrible. I'm using that for dealing with family. I'm using it to make copy. I'm using it at the end of the day to say, I did this and this and this, and I kicked some tail today. Right.
Yeah.
And then, the analyzing, it can be fun, but it can also be overwhelming when you've got all this other stuff going on. And so if I can say, here's a snapshot of something, and here's a snapshot of something, tell me what's working. That saves me so much headspace, and then can empower me.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And that's a tool. It's not replacing you. It's enhancing you. It's actually
enhancing me.
Your part-time assistant that's sitting right beside you. So this constant communication.
My computer pocket buddy.
Tweaking, absolutely. So I know you have some fun things coming up this year, but I want to make sure we tell everybody what those things are. You're going to try some new things.
We are trying some new things. We are going to be doing more. I'm really, so you remember like quilting bees, and when women would get together and they would just do stuff together and sewing circles and all of that stuff, right? I want to create a version of that using Zoom. You and I could be, I've watched you paint on Zoom. There's no reason that we can't have a gallery of women doing different things and talking about what's going on in our life. And I'm not sure that that's being done. If it is, maybe I need to get in that, but
you haven't found it. And when I say, if you can't find it, create it.
That's one of my
Create what you
missions,
need.
is to create that, or to create some classes online with Zoom that are things. We're doing a little kick around where I have a customer and a friend now who is a clutter buster, and she's helping us
Awesome.
visualize the room. And maybe, yeah,
That's
Teresa,
awesome.
that might be something. I might need to give you my friend, or tell you about my friend Lori, where she took us through a visualization of a room, of one of our rooms, and then like what brings you energy, what takes your energy away, right? And so
Mhm.
that's supposed to be a class then and then we look around, okay, that needs to go. This I love, but it's tired. Can I turn it into something else? Right? So
Yeah.
that's one of my ideas. And just kind of I want to meet her pretty please.
Um, so lastly, make sure you tell everybody what upcoming events you have at the shop there. And if they are, this pops up in their feed and they're, an hour from you, what kind of events, what can they expect? When are you open? How can they find you, Jen?
Well, you can always find me on my website, which is rusticrehabs.com. And then I am on Facebook. I'm getting better on Instagram and YouTube. We for sure, I have a great small town where they do a lot of events. And, but I found that even when there are events, you still can't just rest on your laurels. Right. And so now I'm a little too hard on myself. Like, we need an event for this, an event for this, event for this. I can say for sure we're going to do in Memorial Day weekend, there's going to be an event, but I'm also going to have a flea market in my parking lot, because if I don't use my parking lot, everybody parks in my parking lot for free. So I'm going to get some vendors in that are small.
Good. Great idea.
I did it last year twice, and I'm now ready to get like 20 people and help them get in this. So we're going to do that in May, and then we'll do a fall one in October, where people can start bringing their Christmas and their fall stuff is early.
Love
So
it.
those are for sure. We're going to do a Galentine's one next month with my downtown.
Yeah.
And you just never know where your ideas are going to come from, right? So I'm using some of my little IOD molds, and we're going to make little magnets or little bestie little ornaments where I'm going to have to get some of that expensive Fuji film and take their pictures with so we're going to do that. And then the other thing we're talking about is Mother's Day. We want to do, and Laura, who's on here, and you need somebody to talk this stuff through, right? Besides a computer.
Yeah,
and so Laura and I were talking yesterday. I'm like, oh, we want to do Bridgerton, but we kind of want to do Downton Abbey for the older women. And what about like Sense and Sensibility and all the things with the Crown? We're going to do a British takeover tea party weekend.
Okay. British tea party takeover. I love it.
Yeah. So there's never a shortage of ideas. There's a shortage of energy to tie the ideas. And that's actually what a tool like AI can help with too. Right. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing all of that.
De-stress your mess. Yeah.
I don't know that, actually. I don't know. Distress your mess or unstuff your life. Thank you for your kind words, Teresa. I love that you were here commenting and asking questions like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jen, I adore you.
Back at you, girlfriend.
I have been so touched by the fact that you are so involved with our leadership lab, so supportive of our ladies. And it's hard because I know you're busy. This is during your working hours. I make you come out of there and close your back room and come in there and go on a live for 2 hours.
Yeah, you can sometimes see him going, I'm leaving now. Yeah.
It's really powerful. And I would say, if anybody's listening right now that wanted to know more about the leadership lab, what would you tell them, Jen?
I would tell them to do their homework, but I would also then be a hypocrite because they haven't always gotten to things.
You mean the homework I assign, not going. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're saying go do your homework before you sign up.
Oh no, the homework you assign. Yeah, there's not much homework to do on Dion. She's pretty much an open book, right?
Oh, so well,
yeah,
I try to be, yes.
Yeah. I think that it is I think it's important to invest in yourself, even if you feel like you don't. So like, that's kind of one of the ways I pay myself is by reinvesting some of this in myself so that I can get with like-minded people. And somebody called it paying for friends on some other mastermind that I used to listen to years ago in the garage. But I feel like it's important to take some time to do that. And I think it's important to get into a safe space too, to do that, right? So you can talk to, because we don't always talk about, you know, art stuff. We are talking about how did you make that crappy hard decision, right?
Absolutely.
And how did you brush yourself off and then keep going? And leadership can be just in just about any facet of your life because they're all intertwined. So
Yeah.
I would tell them to go for it. I mean, I don't think anybody's been disappointed yet.
God, I hope not.
And if it's not, then that's your thing, but you don't know if you don't try it.
Well, I look at it also like if you are even considering taking your business or your, some idea to the next level, if you're considering it, there's a reason that it's percolating. And what I've witnessed happen with mentoring other women and myself, when I try to stuff something and push it away, it just bubbles up in the most inappropriate wrong time when I'm already overwhelmed. So it's like when I resist. So if you're feeling it, there's something that made you pull the trigger and say, I am ready to invest in myself. And that's not just paying. That's not necessarily paying for friends. It is actually seeing your own value, recognizing your value within yourself and saying, it's my time because there is something that I need to share with other people. And you feel called, but maybe just empowered that now's the time. And
yeah.
When you ignore that, we're causing problems, not just for you, but the rest of the people who love you so much.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important to do. You're not exactly sure that's what's interesting about the growth too. You're not exactly sure how you're going to grow and get there. Like you and I talked about that with painting dresses and that leading you to a way that you didn't. So I think it's important. Honestly, it comes down to some focused time where I can sit down and think about things that I wouldn't get done any other way.
There you go.
It's really what it is, because I haven't necessarily done all of the homework stuff that we've talked about. That would push me further because I've done videos and stuff and I'm not afraid to get on and do the video part like some people want to practice. But for me, it's a matter of, you're going to make me think about stuff and that's going to rock around in here and make me start to, I don't know, just do a little better. Not as fast as I want it, but still getting there.
Still getting there. And that's all we're doing. Everybody that's on here right now, give yourself a great big hug. Everybody, you're doing the best you can with what you've been given, with where you are in this space. We are here to meet you there, wherever you are. If you are considering or something is kind of stirring within you and you think the Leadership Lab or you need a guide or you want a creative community, we're getting ready to open up a new group in February. You can go to theturquoiseiris.com, which is my website, and just go under workshops. Sign up for the Leadership Lab. Put your name on the wait list. I'll let you know. But I'm bringing on the ladies from the Alumni Circle every Thursday at 5:00 Central Time. And so tonight we met Jen. Earlier than that, we met our girl Pam Densler, who's writing a book, going to be available on Amazon in a couple of days. And then last week we had Renee and Deb Kraska and Karen Berg. And then next week we're going to have 2 more ladies and then 2 more ladies. And it's incredibly joyful for me just to be able to do this because I am just a facilitator, right? I mean, not just but I'm the facilitator and being able to just watch you like, I'm going to do this and guide, and then giving you just a safe place to say, well, today was one of the worst days I've ever had. And knowing that you're not being judged, knowing that you're still being held in that space, and then moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that too. I heard you say that last week, that you're a facilitator. And I love that example because you can't tell somebody how to be a leader in their life, right? You can't be, there's a lot of books on leadership and there's a lot of great advice, but yet I think and not let anybody can just be a facilitator of stuff either. Like you can't just be like, I down myself, right? You got to do some of the work. And so that's inspiring me to try some of this stuff too. So yeah, you're a huge inspiration as well.
Well, thank you. Back at you, girl. I want to thank you, Jen, for taking time out of your busy evening to pop on here. I have a feeling that there are some men and women who might be listening to you. More will catch on the replay between you and Pam. The little bits of advice, the experience, the plans. It's very inspiring, and I'm happy to be on this journey with you to watch what 2026 might bring for rustic rehabs, Jen.
Let's rock it.
It's gonna be so good. We're gonna be like,
so I can go to LA and sit on the beach.
Let's do that. That's what you need right there. That's what you need. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please set your alarm, set it on your calendar, whatever. I'm going to be back next Thursday at the same time with 2 more women from the Alumni Circle that have been working on the Leadership Lab. Thank you for loving on them. Thank you for sharing it, putting a little heart down here. All the comments, it means so much. We will see you next week. Jen, hold tight. Everybody have a great week. I'll see you next time.